You're listening to the SojuTalk Nation Podcast, episode 33.
On today's episode, we discuss This Week in Music and episode 3 of Girls Planet 999.
So sit back and chill with friends. You're listening to The After Show with the SojuTalk Nation. Welcome to the SojuTalk Nation podcast, a chill discussion on this week in the SojuTalk Nation. We're recording on Wednesday, August 25, 2021. I'm your host, Crispy, and welcoming back to the show is Koala. Welcome, Koala.
Hello.
Your internet's... you were here last week. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I got this. I know things.
Yeah, that's why I was confused at the script.
No, don't worry about it. We just read what's in front of us. It's fine. We're good. How was your week so far?
I'm tired.
Bro.
I'm always tired.
Clearly, always tired. Well, we hope that the show today gives you energy and the energy group on Girls Planet 999 this week, where they screamed energy up.
I hate you.
With
what was the other bar? No, what?
Energy bar?
Bar group, and it was called bar that way.
I don't remember the unit names. All I know is that's Doa's group with
oh my god,
the number one girl of the show this week, and probably for the rest of the show, saying she's doing great. We're all doing great. All right, let's move on now to announcements this week. Soju Sessions episode 20 is now available on the SojuTalk Nation podcast feed, on Spotify, on YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. And Anita joins me to talk Red Velvet. So we do a little bit of a retrospective on her history with the group and do a deep dive into Queendom. It's a really cool album discussion there. Anita and I talked for quite a bit, so really, enjoy that conversation and hope that you guys check it out. And let her know how much you like hearing her, because we love hearing from Anita. So thanks again, Anita, for coming on to the show and doing your thing, because it was a lot of fun. All right, let's move on now to This Week in SojuTalk Music with 3 new songs this week. We have TXT's Loser Lover, Brave Girls After We Ride, and Stray Kidz with Thunderous. All right, let's start at the top. TXT, Loser Lover. We got more angst. We got more summer sadness. We got edgy kids. Koala, is this literally your life?
No, I'm not driving off a cliff.
Okay, point taken. But destroying record players and, vlogging in front of millions of fans, I feel like that's influencer
You're
stuff.
the influencer stuff.
I feel like that's influencer stuff that you live by. This is very indicative of your own life. I'm just like, oh, cool. I think I see a lot of similarities, a lot of parallels to the ways in which you live. But with the song, what do you think about TXT going more angst, going another dive into this style of music, just coming off of 01 Love Song?
So for me, at least, it's definitely not as impactful as Love Song, because this was kind of expected, because Love Song really performed well for them in general. This isn't a bad song in my opinion, but it isn't. It also isn't better than Love Song by any means for me. The chorus especially didn't do it for me, and the lyrics were kind of cringy for me, or not cringy, but they kind of didn't fit. And yeah, but I really like the verses, and I also like the weird microphone choreo thingy.
I'm having a crisis. So, TXT, prior to the summer, just thought they were another boy group doing boy group songs. Okay, cool. Kind of on the younger side, so I didn't really connect with them at all. And then they did 01 Love Song. And I was like, oh, I think I really like this group. I think I really like this vibe. And then they do this song, Loser Lover, which, granted, not the same type of impact as Zero One Love Song, but in the same vein, right? Where it's like teen punk, pop punk. And, not to say that like I like that kind of music, but I like it for them. And I like it that it's so different from like the rest of K-pop right now. I think I'm not gonna say I'm a TXT fan yet, but I'm a fan of these two songs, and in particular, Zero One Love Song, and Loser Lover. So, with that said, the lyrics, yes, they did talk about lyrics a little bit on the main show. Doug did like the loser with the dollar sign lyric. Warren did not.
I'm with Warren.
What was the other parts of the lyrics that didn't work for you?
All of the chorus, so that run. I already forgot that run part again. Do you want to sing it?
I'm good. I think I'm good.
Okay.
But thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for offering that. Well, let me ask you: is it more of the lyrics, or is it the way that it was composed and like the progression into that section? Because there is a distinct difference with the way that Zero One Love Song and this song are constructed. I do agree that this is a little bit more generic than Zero One Love Song. Zero One Love Song had a lot more energy. It engaged you in the emotions, whereas this song felt more of a continuation of the same story, right? Where it's very consistent and stable throughout the entire song. Not too many ups and downs and like high peaks and emotional like points. But I think that works for me because it's just more familiarity. So, was there anything in this song that made you feel like it was less impactful, I guess?
I think especially because I really like Sodi's voice in Love Song, to be honest. I like the harmonies with like the female voice. And I think that was like also missing for me by a lot. I just love female soloists and songs.
That's a really good point because for the longest time, in denial of me actually liking that song, I called it Seroi's song. So I think that goes a long way with like adding that extra bit of like emotional connection. And because like she is such a great vocalist herself, it added something extra that this song might be lacking. But I did like the story because it was just more like summer teen angst, right? And breaking stuff and feeling misunderstood and not being, connected with like the adults around you. But then like trying to get by during summertime. I felt like there was a bit of like Itaewon class feel when they were kind of running through the streets in the city at night. Yeah, kind of that feeling of freedom, but also like restriction. I don't know, kind of that internal conflict that a lot of kids.
So you're saying you're into the TXT lore?
Not the lore, okay? There's a difference between lore and thematic elements of a music video, okay? Man, get me out of here. All right, so one last thing before we move on. They mentioned that, Warren mentioned that he likes this progression of TXT, that they've done 2 songs now in this very teen punk, pop punk, angsty vein, whereas another group in their label has been doing songs like this, has been doing one style of music for almost 3 years. What do you think about that comparison? And do you feel like moving forward, you would like TXT to continue this, to kind of iterate on it and perhaps flip it and do something different, but in the same pop punk vein?
I would say it's a little bit too early to say that they're kind of going in the same direction with like staying with one style, because for most artists, I would say if they like recognize that one song of them really popped off really well, they will do it for like the next two releases for most of the time, and then realize, okay, we're not doing so well anymore, and change it up. I think, for instance, Momoland, was it Momoland with Boom Boom? And then they did Bam, which sounded exactly the same.
I think that was the case from Momoland.
I think after that they also switched it up, and I would guess TXT This song isn't doing bad per se, but maybe they will realize, okay, it's already like the the audience is not responding as like positive and as like hype as they did for Love Song. So maybe they would kind of switch it up in the future, which I would also enjoy because that punk rock music kind of can sound really alike if you do it in a generic like way that they kind of chose for Loser Lover. If they would go into Love Song again, I would enjoy it, but I don't know whether I would enjoy another Loser Lover, to be honest.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of directions they can go into with this style of music, at least staying with like the punk rock-ish sound. But again, it's about like variations in that style. And I think 01 Love Song was a variation in and of itself of that pop punk song sound. Whereas Loser Lover, very generic, very accessible, very easy to listen to. And I think that's maybe what they were going for. Not necessarily as a 2.0 of their first attempt at it, but like a 1.5, a continuation of like here, let's do something similar, just so then we don't lose the audience or lose the fan base and like collect more fans, acquire more curious listeners like myself. So I think in that sense it did work for me. But if they do it for a third time, that's another generic song, then they might fall into similar trappings as other groups who have done three-peats of songs that are just all too similar. So yeah, well, overall, I think I'm curious if they do it again, because it does feel like it's very seasonal. This is the summer of angst for them, and their next release would be in the fall, winter, which could work, but unsure if that's something that they'll explore with the changing seasons.
It could also be because this is a repackage of the album that Love Song came with, so it kind of makes sense to make it 1.5 to just fit the overall theme of the album still.
Yeah.
So if they start like a new trilogy, it could maybe go back to their old sound a bit.
Yeah, that's a good point you make. It is a repackage, so it's more of a continuation as opposed to something very different. Yeah. All right, let's move on now to the next song of the week. We have Brave Girls with After We Ride. So this is a continuation of We Ride from last year. We Ride was supposed to be their finale. It was a very city pop song. Very good song, actually. I kind of love that song. Shout out to KME for...
I know.
Kinda. Oh, yes, I very much love that song. But shout out to KME for making a city pop playlist with that song as like the second or third song on that playlist. Very recognizable if you know Brave Girls' sound, listening to them so much throughout the year. But this one is more of a retro synth disco, I don't know, like relaxed, chill vibe song. What did you think about the song, and how did it pair with the music video for you?
The music video really fit well to the song because, okay, one thing, the problem is I can only get it from the vibes, because one issue I had with Brave Girls for the past releases is, why the fuck don't they have subtitles in English? Am I too early to get subtitles? Am I watching the wrong video? I don't know. Can you help? Are there no subtitles? Because I usually like to connect like the MV with the lyrics and the sound, but it's not really working with Brave Girls. I mean, I could look the lyrics up, but I think it would be also kind of nice because they're not small. They are like decent size of group now. So I don't think subtitles would be too much of work for Brave Entertainment.
Well, let's jump to that. So they're not small. Warren, Doug, and Anita actually had a small side discussion on where Brave Girls falls as far as the other girl groups that are in contention for like top tier, or at least like very popular. What did you think about putting them in the top 7, top 8?
It definitely makes sense given that their Korean popularity is above like almost all, not almost all, but like most of the K-pop girl groups right now. Uh, I think the problem is to kind of put them into like a list if you look back at maybe like the past 10 years, because yes, they popped off and are super popular right now, but you still need to kind of put into retrospective that they were not always at this place. So I don't know whether I would agree with Warren with this. I think it was top three thing for the list. I don't know whether I put them there, but definitely top 10, maybe top five.
Yeah, it's an important distinction, right? If we're looking at longevity of girl groups overall, or girl groups that have popped off recently, and where do they land as far as the Korean consciousness, Korean exposure, right? And like the cultural relevance. So with Brave Girls, definitely like this year has been really big for them. They've attached to kind of a nostalgia and, capturing a market of people that I think has just not been as interested in K-pop as in the past. Very much through the military video, and like that's the target audience that is now falling in love with Brave Girls. In so doing, I do think that they are in the top. I can't name the groups right now off the top of my head, but I can imagine them being very popular across all spectrums, right? Whether that's demographics or styles of media, whether that's variety shows, internet content, or music. I feel like this kind of music is also very accessible to a lot of people, whether you're in Korea or internationally, right? And I think just that hype and that feeling of wanting something familiar, and the feel good story that Brave Girls is, has done a lot for their profile as a group. Whether or not that was indicative of their musical prowess and what the company and Brave Bros has done for them is another question. But I do think it's important as a touch point for K-pop and the history of the genre, the entertainment medium, and like looking back as far as, the pandemic and, people looking for something familiar, people looking for nostalgia, just to feel good about a low point in a shared history. With that said, so they did mention a couple cool like comparisons and Brave Bros setting the stage for a lot of YG artists in this style, in this genre of music. Were there any of the songs that the crew mentioned, Warren mentioned, whether that's Big Bang, 21, G Dragon, that you agreed with, that connected or had similar feels to this song?
I definitely connected with Big Bang. 21, not too much, but also because I didn't get too much into their music, just like the Bear Surfers. But Big Bang, they got me into K-pop. I know all of their songs. So yes, I would agree to that statement.
Nice. Yeah. I tried to think about the 21 songs that would sound similar to this. There's a few, but I do think for me 21 was always just like hype music and just like, the baddest girls like in the world, and just like super edgy and like fashion forward and like crazy fashion from 2012 and 2015.
Weird hairstyles. Dara's hair is still crying.
So Sandara, hello, I hope your hair is healed. I hope they removed all of that wax or whatever product they used to make it stand that way. And
Steel.
yeah, and your scalp is fine, but you are a fashion forward human being for doing such a thing. Yeah, so I can't personally make the connection between 21 and Brave Bros, but this type of sound and style is definitely something that I attach to because I do like the vibe in music. I do like retro synthwave, a little bit of disco, and the cinematic thematic aspects of the music video was just something that I really love and appreciate, as far as like the after party, settling back into reality, being drunk at certain points in the night. Is that something I'm known for? Maybe, perhaps.
No, totally not.
Yeah.
It's in the morning.
Okay, got it. But yeah, just like that after party feel where everything's settled down, everyone's gone, but you are still there, and you are trying to find your way home, and you are with the people. You are with the people in your life, whether that's like the one friend that you're with, or you're kind of looking off into the distance, thinking about what's to come. Because I don't think there's a shot in the music video where all four of them are distinctly together within like the acting elements. But yeah, just a lot of very emotional points. All right, so we've gone kind of long on Brave Girls. I still love the song. It's not a super like hard hitting summer song, but we're in August. We're near the end of summer. It's gonna be September in a few days. Man.
Oh God.
Man.
Oh my God. 2021 is almost over.
What is
Oh no.
time is a construct. Time is relative.
Oh, it's been a while, huh? This was needed.
It's been a minute. All right, so we love Brave Girls. I'm down for this song. Check it out, please. Okay, let's move on now to Stray Kids with Thunderous. The cool anime kids, spitting in their hands, making fire.
Don't spit, kids. It's Corona season.
All right, Qual. What did you think about the song, music video, vibe, and do you feel like this is in line with the two previous Stray Kids songs?
I really like the MV. I like the flames and like the animation part especially. I wasn't a big fan of the red outfits, but it was just not mine. The hairstyles also Felix, kind of sus, but everyone got their own taste. Looking at the music, not my favorite track of them, to be honest. I also have to say I do enjoy their older stuff in general way more than their newest releases, but that's just me. But even compared to the newest releases, it is in the same vein as like Backdoor and God's Menu, but quality-wise, it doesn't reach the level of these two for me. Because the background music alone was like too much at some points, and like the random sound effects also of that one car in the first verse, I think it's not my type of music.
I can't put my finger on it, but there's something missing about this song. Like with Backdoor, I can distinctly remember in my head like the killing moments in that song. God's Menu, of course, doot 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 doot, and like chopping, But this song, I had to rewatch it before we recorded to get to the killing point, and I don't think I can remember that. I don't think unfortunately. Again, not a terrible song, very much like in the vein of God's Menu and Backdoor, but I don't know what this song does to separate itself from those two other songs that is unique and hasn't done anything extremely different, right? Not necessarily that they have to be like completely different from those three songs, but something that sets it apart in a way that like, okay, I can remember this as being a unique point in Stray Kids discography. Also considering that they have had a longer break, and yes, they did Kingdom, but other groups did Kingdom, so it's like, it's in a weird place. Let's just put it that way, because I don't know where this song in particular will stand with the rest of the discography. I do remember their older stuff. I was recommended Stray Kids back in 2018. I remember those songs very well. Like those songs just hit very differently. I think with the landscape of boy groups at that time, they were kind of the edgy, I don't know, like misunderstood group, but in a different way, in a like hip hop ish kind of way, where it's like right now it feels like everyone's doing this, and I don't know what they're doing enough to separate themselves. To me, was there anything else that the crew mentioned that there's one thing actually that Warren said that I wanted to touch on. So, he talked about this song. Well, Doug talked about this song being an attitude as opposed to like music. And then Warren said, like, if you want to deliver attitude, give me an essay. Great punchline, Warren. I appreciate that. But what do you think about that sentiment? About this song being more of a like a characterization piece as opposed to being carried by its music?
It's definitely not bad to like perform and to like convey the audience of your like message and your feelings. But this song in particular, with the lyrics as well, with this spit part, it just seemed like the purpose wasn't exactly to maybe get new fans, but just to show like they, I don't know, they are just able to do this kind of stuff and they are able to handle it very well. Just enjoy. I don't know. I also am not sure whether there was like some storyline or something, but the song itself it was just in your face the whole time. There's nothing else for me.
It's really hype, a lot of energy, a lot of aggression. I don't know how to listen to it because Doug said he will work out to the song and he'll get hyped and he'll lift weights and he'll be super like Incredible Hulk buff, which I can see that with this song. I put the song on in my headphones and I'm just like, I don't know where to put the energy. Like I could think to put it in exercise, but it's a little chaotic. So like I'm not able to like completely focus on like whatever I'm doing, whether that's like walking or opening a door or like chewing. It's very difficult to multitask. My brain capacity just isn't there to completely understand the song. But again, I don't think it's a bad song. I think it fits with Stray Kidz. It's just, for me, I'm not a fan of boy groups. I need a lot to pull me in, and this is just another song that like exists for them, which not bad, but I kind of wished it had another like impactful. They had another impactful song like God's Menu, like a Backdoor. So here we are. All right. Any final thoughts about the music this week on Stray Kidz, Koala?
I don't think so.
All right, let's move on now to Spice King Soju chart. For this week, we had at number 3, TXT Loser Lover. At number 2, Brave Girls with After We Ride. And at number 1, yes, la di 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 da, Red Velvet with Queendom. I think I messed that up again.
La di da do da ba di da. Was it that? La di da do da. Oh well, now I'm confused as well.
Everyone, if you heard Koala singing just now, yes, she has vocal talent. She is on a show. If you do want to check it out, she is a trainee on a show. Just letting you know. Anyways, what did you think about how the crew arrived at this list today? We have the breakdown. Unfortunately, the homies did not give Red Velvet the number 1 spot to double crown this week, but the crew all agreed. Red Velvet, number 1. Brave Girls, number 2. And then TXT for the most part, with Doug giving Stray Kidz number 3. Anything interesting about how they arrived there this week?
I think it's interesting that first and second place are all the same groups, despite like the order. So it's very clear that Red Velvet and Brave Girls were I really liked this week, and I think this week was rather weak in comparison. We had better ones, but Red Velvet definitely. I think it took a while to get to like the song a bit more. Definitely. Oh, I can't speak. Deserve the place.
Yeah, I still love the song. I've been listening to the album for over a week now. It flows really well together. It's a very short and sweet, very nice bite-sized mini album to get you into the feel of modern Red Velvet. But I do think Brave Girls has a nice spot in there with that song. The Brave Girls mini album is a repackage. So it's 1 new song and then 3 different mixes of songs from the previous from the previous release. A little disappointed with that. I kind of wish there were a few newer songs. The
Oh,
other songs are fine. It's cool to hear different versions of it. I think there's an acoustic version. There's like slow down versions of different songs. I kind of want at least one new song, one other new song.
oh yeah. Wait, remixes. That TXT emo version.
All right. Yeah, so the emo version of Zero One Love Song, I listened to it a handful of times just to kind of get the feel for it. I still prefer the original one.
Do you?
Yeah. I tried to convince myself like, oh, this is a good version, and then I listened to the old one, and it's like, oh no, I like the other one better.
Is there Sodi's voice in it, or is it without Sodi's voice in the remix?
If
I
she
haven't
is in
listened to
it,
it yet.
I couldn't hear it.
I couldn't hear it.
Yeah,
Okay, then she probably isn't.
yeah, I yeah, I don't know if she's in it. I think she is technically on it as far as the credit, the title credit, but I don't remember hearing
Oh,
her part. All right, well, good list. You know, coming into it, I think we all thought there's gonna be a lot of big shakeups because all these are like
yes.
hard hitting, top tier, well known groups, and for the most part there were shakeups, but that was kind of just the product of Sunmi being retired, and the other songs, whether that was Weekly or Dreamcatcher, kind of being at the tail end of their run already. I don't think any of those groups are promoting anymore. I think it's already been like over a month. So it left Red Velvet and space for two new songs. The two new songs were pretty well received, but again, not as overpowering to take over like the chart, to have a hold on the chart for the next couple of weeks. So we'll see how it turns out coming up. All right, Koala, any closing thoughts on this week in music?
No, I don't think so.
All right, so a couple of things to talk about for news. One thing to talk about for news. We have Crush and Joy. They're dating. They're adorable. Shout out to KME again for changing his profile picture to them because they're adorable. What did you think about the
Yeah,
news
cute.
when it came out?
I did remember they made a collab, so it wasn't like completely out of nowhere. I think it was just kind of random when this popped off. I don't know. Was it SM? No, it was just a weird uh, news article. I think some report agency saying it, but I think they look cute together. It's nice, and also like the members. I think Red Velvet had like a promotion somewhere, and Irene was teasing Joy when she said the first thing she did was googling Joy's name online. So yeah, that was cute.
Very, imagine just, falling in love with someone who's equally as wholesome and talented, and, with Crush's cool music, and Joy's cool voice, and them being cool together. God, I hate it. But I'm happy for them. That's
Of
all.
course, they look cute.
Yeah, but they are very cute. They are very cool. Jokes aside, yes, the dog. I think that dog situation did a good job for them, and I hope they're happy for a long time. I hope they keep it up and they collab more because that Mayday was really fun. I really liked Mayday last year, so hopefully we get some more of that in the future. All right. We're going to save Girls Planet 999 for later on in the show. We're just going to do our weekly check-in. And we're going to close it out for Koala this week. Due to some scheduling things, Koala is unable to talk about Girls Planet 999. But, she is invested. She will be watching. So she will be up to date by the next time she is on the show. For now, Koala, how are you? How's your life? Just checking in. Everything good?
Kind of, yes. My lifestyle is not good, but school. We're getting started. I have bunch of projects coming up. It's a mess. But my class trip is soon, so my brain can shut off for a week.
Nice. Where are you going for your class trip?
We're staying in Germany, so yeah, I don't think you know the place.
Okay. Well, what's the nature of the class trip? Is it to go to like a different area that is, I don't know, like a city? Is it a camping trip? Is it a nature trip?
There were like different trips you could join. One is like hiking, I think. There was one for Hamburg, so city, and mine was like...
Where they serve hamburgers? Wow.
I hate it here. So mine is like in a German city, but the focus is still like speaking in English for some reason. I don't know. I didn't really care. And we're mostly like, it's like the cities for like old German, what is Dichter? Poets. Poets? Yes, I think so. And we're just also like going through the universities to see which one made fit us for the next couple of years.
Nice. So kind of, I don't even know how to put it.
Well,
Like a university tour trip with options to stay in cities or go and hike is how I'm piecing it together.
university is just for my trip, but it's only just for a day as well. I think it's just getting to know a new area, basically, and just spending time after we were supposed to have many trips in the past, but because of Rona, none of these happened.
Got it. Well, that's good. You're getting out. You're seeing human beings. You're speaking in English. I mean, you're a professional co-host.
I don't know. We're in Germany. It will be hella weird if we speak in English all the time.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. If you go to like a place in Germany that is like traditional, like old school German, and you talk to them in English, and I'm like, what?
Like you can do that in Berlin because all of the people, most of the people can speak English. Some don't even speak German, so you have to know English. But like in like a smaller city, which is really traditional, kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, I hope your trip goes well. I hope you make memories, you bond with classmates, you explore the world, you eat some hamburgers. I hope
I'm not in Hamburg. Stop.
I hope it's super fun and you get back and we continue to record other great segments on this show.
It will be fun because a couple of my friends have their birthdays in this week.
Nice.
Party.
Nice. So I'm imagining a lot of consuming of liquids that may not
No,
be...
it's prohibited. We had to sign a paper that we won't drink alcohol.
Again, just because it's prohibited doesn't mean your friends will not be able to find a way. I'm just saying, I think that's what kids do, right? Kids are pretty resourceful and they're able to make the best of a situation like that. So yeah, good luck. I hope
one of them isn't even 16 yet. You can't legally drink. So yeah.
Well, okay. You know whatever happens, you report back to us. You tell us the story, and we will be excited to hear all about it. Yeah.
I don't think it will be as exciting.
Oh, I'm going to interview you about every single moment of that trip, and it'll be great. So yeah, perfect. For me, I am going on vacation this evening. I'm getting on a plane. I'm getting on a plane and going to Los Angeles for 5 days. I'll be back on Monday, so no time will be missed for recordings. But I am just going to take a mental disconnect for the next couple of days. I don't know. Maybe I'll read a book in like a quiet corner of my friend's house where no one's gonna bother me or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll write a book. That's what I'll do. I'll write a book.
Bestseller.
Oh, I'll write a book about K-pop just like Jessica.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'll write about all the members on Discord with pseudonyms. No. Yeah, it'll be pretty chill. I don't really have plans. I think we're gonna go hiking one day, or we're gonna go to an art show another day. My sister's gonna take me out for all you can eat sushi, but that's about it. So,
Boba pics?
of course, influencer shit, you know. But yeah, that'll be life. All right. Well, that kind of ends it for this week. We are gonna throw it now to the Girls Planet 999 discussion I had with a very special guest. I will, I'll lead into it with when we cut to it, and you'll know exactly who it is. Koala, thanks for hanging out this week. We'll catch you when you return. Any final words you want to say to everyone?
Oh, my brain is lagging. Oh god. I will be back at least when Lisa's stuff drops. So yeah, just saying.
Sounds good.
You won't have to miss me for too long.
Well, we will be excitedly waiting for both Lisa and for your return. So yeah, we'll see you then. Bye, Koala.
Bye.
Welcoming to the show this week to talk Girls Planet 99 Episode 3, all the way from South Korea and at work early in the morning, is Pris. Welcome to the show, Pris.
Hi.
All right, so we gotta clarify a couple of things. So we had to change some things up with the schedule. Koala was not able to completely watch this episode, so I tagged in Pris. Kind of last minute, but with time zones, South Korea,
like midnight.
Yeah, just how things work. I pinged her hoping she could do it, and lo and behold, here she is, all the way
Here I am
on the other side of the world, at work, finding
work.
a quiet room to hide away to have this discussion today. All right, let's jump right into it. The crew this week discussed episode 3, where we had the 2 groups go. So we had Yes or Yes, and we had How You Like That. So 2 separate competition groups. Pris, welcome. Let me get your first takes on everything. What was your first impressions of the episode, some big takeaways, and how you felt the crew discussed the different performances?
Honestly, I agree with everything they had said. I feel like Yes or Yes, I wasn't expecting as much as How You Like That. And it was the reverse. I got everything with Yes or Yes, and with How You Like That. I really, I guess, like connected, or not connected, but like resonated with what they said, because it was how I was feeling. Thank you, Warren, for shouting out one of my picks, Ririka, because she did amazing. She's a Japanese member that's been very overlooked. She was, if you guys don't know who Rika is, she was in Fancy. I think she was wearing yellow. I'm not sure. But yeah, like she really stood out to me during Yes or Yes. I was honestly very surprised with how good Yes or Yes came out. But it's a very well-known song as well. So
yeah, and I think it played into a lot of their strengths from both teams. Team 2 in particular, which she was on. Very bubbly, very bubblegum happy.
yeah.
Yes, she definitely popped. Go ahead.
I felt like everybody that was in the cell was perfect for the concepts. Like everybody fit that cute, but like chic-ish, like concept.
I think they definitely captured the characterizations and kind of the performance aspect really nicely in Team 2. And it's one of those crazy things where it just so happened that both Team 1 and Team 2 were excellent, set the bar very high. So,
I want to give also like a shout out to Team 1's, I think it was main vocal, Kim Haedin. She had the space buns, super cute. Like, oh my god, and her Yes or Yes was like super good.
So I rewatched it just before we recorded. Team 1, there weren't any like one particular, well, there were a few particular like very good strong performances, but I think across the board everyone was just very crisp and clean. And I think that's what they kind of mentioned on the show, where it wasn't so much of the fact that Team 2 had too much lacking, although we can get into this later, but our 15-year-old girl is struggling a bit, but I think she was still carried well enough in Team 2 where she was elevated. Like the floor for both of those performances was very high. Right.
Yeah, because as even though she's 15, she has really good vocals.
Yeah, I think she did pretty well. It's the editing package where they really
Mm,
emphasize the fact that during practices and rehearsals and evaluations that she wasn't all there, and then
mm.
also with kind of the tension and the conflict with her teammate Wednesday. Wenji, I need to pronounce that like a non-American person, Wenji. But I think that was a nice like little moment of drama for the show. But like they said on the main show, it kind of served them both well because ultimately,
It,
because they're in the same
it
cell.
was good drama. Like it was
Yeah,
good drama. It wasn't evil editing. Like it was needed.
yeah. And they're both in the same cell, so depending
Mm,
on people are going to naturally pick sides, but you're going to ultimately end up voting for both of them because you have to, kind of thing. So I think it's a kind of a cool like outcome for all of that. Um,
mm.
so with team two, there was something that I did kind of notice that Warren mentioned, and kind of the crew kind of like emphasized a little bit more about Doa being a little too cutesy. Did you feel that same way?
Mm, I guess a little bit, but like I feel like it was necessary, especially for the beginning, like focal points.
Yeah, I feel like it was a table setter, right? Because she had a lot of
Hmm.
experience. She has done programs before, and she's just been in the spotlight with other things. I mentioned this last week, but she is part of a show, a webtoon that I loved with Arin, The World of My 17. And
Mm,
she is just this kind of adorable, really awkward teenager. And from there, I saw her on this show, and I was like, "We good? Yep, let's do it." But I can definitely see her being a little too much. To me, it wasn't too much, but I can see like pushing that
I
boundary a little too far.
I feel like it wasn't too much because that was her only moment to shine because she stepped back and let everybody else shine.
I thought that was a nice touch, a nice little moment of like presence of mind to kind of distribute the
Yeah.
lines evenly for the rest of the team. Um,
Like she knew like this is my moment. This is the only moment I'll be focused like primarily on. I should take as much as I can.
yeah, yeah, and that was great actually. I think that was a nice like team building moment, and that'll probably go a long way as far as the other competitors or the other girls that she's with, and because it does feel like she will probably get carried by votes. That she will make it at least to
Hmm.
a point of being considered in the final nine. And
Yeah.
team chemistry is also just a big important thing eventually. I want to go back to team one real quick before we move on, and it's the K line, the Korea line that they mentioned on the show. That I thank God that they mentioned the names and they're like helping me like establish who these girls are because I think they're all great, but I just could not put names to them. So we have
Same, same. It's because Team Two has more iconic people compared to Team One.
yeah, they have some names that are already established, or at least they've given some
Hmm.
editing time with very focus like emphasis on like the names and labels, right? Labels as
Yeah.
far as like visually making it out like this is who this person is. So for team one, G1, face, yes, good face. Um, Kim Hedem, Kim Hedem and
Oh,
Chaehyun.
I love Hidden. Hidden was just so good with Yes or Yes.
Wow, those three girls are so good.
I
Um,
know.
yeah, definitely shout out to the crew for helping people who aren't as people like me who need a lot of help with names and faces.
Hon-
So yeah.
Honestly, like the only way I was able to find Hidden's name was because I put Girls Planet 999 Yes or Yes space buttons.
Ah, very nice. Yes, the
Like,
space buns. Good
like that
call.
was the only way I found her.
Yeah, that's a good call with the space buns.
Mm,
And then definitely
yeah,
shout out
yeah,
Chaehyun with her amazing voice. She belted it out and she killed it.
yeah.
All right, let's move on now to the more contentious,
Uh,
little bit of
Let
a
down.
situation with a how you like that. So team two went first. I'm just gonna read
Hmm.
off some notes that I got from the main show. We have some notables. We have Sangwon from Bandit, Dahyun, who is K1, and Yoonjia, who was the center. Okay, so team two. I have a note, but I will let you go first. How did it make you
Let's just
feel?
say the beginning was strong. Like honestly, like when I started watching, I was like, okay, okay, like this is pretty good. And then slowly they started losing their stamina, and slowly it was just train wreck to the end.
Okay.
It's,
Man, I tried really hard to
it's
like it because
I yeah.
they tried their best to show the process, and they
Yeah,
even
and
go ahead.
I really wanted to root for them because of Team One, because there's so many like top nine.
Like the underdog story, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but they don't have the stamina for that song.
The thing is, like with the editing and how they showed it on the show, it was the masters were very impressed with the evaluations and the rehearsal, and then all of
Hmm.
a sudden during the actual performance, the cutaways to the reactions, and then the judgments at the end, like the critiques, and basically saying like, yeah, you guys were better like 2 hours ago. What happened?
Yeah. Oh my
It's
God,
like,
that hurt
ooh,
my
that
heart.
was rough.
Like talking as a performer, like as a dancer, like I've had those moments where it's like at practice, like the practice before the actual performance, I'm killing it. I'm giving the 110%. And then for some reason, like on the performance, one little mess up, and then my mind starts um, like going everywhere, and I'm like, oh my God, like what am I doing? Like, why am I messing up on a part that I never messed up on? So it was a little sad for me to watch that happen to them because I know how it feels.
Yeah, it's no, I and it's nice that you bring that touch into it and that like personal experience because I think, um, well, I mean, it just because of the year that we've had, feel like normal people, regular people, don't have the opportunity to perform or be in front of like public audiences to have that like
Mhm.
experience of like I've practiced so much, but when the spotlight shines,
Yeah,
sometimes it's a little too bright.
like even like when I take dance classes here in Korea, and even that like the practice like before filming is amazing, and then it's like okay, you can put your phone down to record yourself, and I screw it up, and it's just like are you serious? Like
Yeah,
I'm so like for some reason just when the camera like turns on, I forget the whole dance. Like I don't understand. So
and it,
I honestly yeah, it's I feel like it's the mix of the nerves, the low stamina, and also like the pressure of like we have to top most of top nine.
yeah, and I think also the team setting, right? Because they mentioned on the show that
Hmm.
once one person was off, everything fell
Every
apart.
yeah,
They
yeah.
mentioned the singing was
But
off. Go ahead.
that shows good teamwork because they're bouncing off each other at least.
To a degree, I think if there was one strong leader, they would be able to put everything back on track, and then everyone would follow them.
Yeah.
But I think it was just the case that it all
It
snowballed.
was just yeah, it was just yeah.
Uh,
Like their leader or their like strong point was the ones that were messing up, and that just yeah.
yeah, it was rough. Because I went to rewatch this one as well. I could not unsee it, and I could not unhear it that they were off
Yes.
beat, and I was like, oh
Oh,
my god, it's worse than I remembered. I was like, okay,
yeah.
ooh man,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I really wanted this team to succeed.
yeah, and they went
I
first
really wanted.
too.
Yeah.
So then of course that sets it up where now team one, you have the freaking MVPs. You have four people from top nine in this group,
But team one really like
but
I was very
team
disappointed.
team one also has their issues. What were some of the issues that stood out to you?
Oh my God. Kai Bin's missing the beat. Like really. I praise her for continuing the choreography, even though she was like two beats behind. But like girl, if you're two beats behind, don't continue the shake arm up down. Like just go to where everybody is. Like you can hear the music, like what's going on. And then what's what's oh my God, what's her name? Oh, the
Shen
girl
Xiaoting.
with Chinese. Yeah, okay. Her she kind of did let me down as a center. She's a center and she's iconic. She was the Chinese group one. Like she didn't give me the same feeling as when she did Rumor for auditions. It's
If
with Rumor, she very like stole the spotlight when it was her time to shine. But this moment where she's center of how you would like that, a really iconic like song, and she didn't give it. Like she had a cute outfit, her hair was good, her makeup was good. Like She has good vocals, but she just wasn't giving me the energy I was wanting for how you like that.
I really like her too, but I was so surprised that technically she's very good, like very sound fundamentally. But again, it's the emotion.
Visually, technically, yeah, it's just no energy, no expression. Not, I guess she was like a little expressive, but like she lacked. She did.
Yeah, it felt mechanical, right? It felt like she was just going through the motions, going through them very well.
Textbook.
Yes,
Yeah,
very textbook.
it was very textbook.
So a bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
On a positive note, Eugen definitely slayed. Girl looks good.
Yeah, I kind of want to see her as the center to see how different it would be.
Yeah, I think she might have just stepped back for this one because she understands like her weight that she has as far as being being CLC, formerly CLC. But again, I think this might have been a case where she probably should have been more of a leader than she was. But she was the leader. She was appointed the leader from the beginning. Yeah.
She was the leader, but she tried to give the others the spotlight because she knew that she already had a fan base behind her. But I would love to see, because she was even that little section in the center in the beginning that was like her spotlight. She was giving it to me, and I'm just like, I wish you were centered just to see if you were to give me the same energy.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was her way of trying to like appease the rest of the members and understanding like the group chemistry aspect of things.
Yeah.
But it's one of those cases where if you need a hard carry, you need a hard carry. And I think she needed to do that for this group, unfortunately. Another notable member, Urena. Oh man, that girl's good.
Oh my.
She's good. Oh man.
Gucci is good. Yeah. But I also want to give a shout out to K33 because she tried so hard to get any spots. Like she did not give up. K33, I don't know your name. I'm so sorry, but keep going.
Let me look it up real quick.
So persistent.
Yeah, talk me through that situation when they were taking when they were figuring out the line distribution and the parts, because that was a really awkward moment, and I think great job building that drama show. Well done. So yeah, K33, what happened?
With Team 1, like there's what, four or five? No, there's 5 members that are top 9. I think it's 4. Yeah, I think it's 4 members that are top 9. So it's already half the group that's top 9. So being K33, whatever her name is, you'll will tell me soon.
Oh yeah, I got it. So it's Young One.
Young One. Okay, so even though she knew, I am in the K group alone, I am the last one, and in the group I'm in, I am the last one. But she's like, but I'm still gonna go for it. Like she's like, I'm still gonna audition for literally. I feel so bad for her though, but every single part there was an audition. She raised her hand. She was like one of the first ones to raise her hand to audition. Like she gave it, even though she knew she wasn't gonna get it. I kind of felt like she knew she was gonna get it, but she tried. She tried her best, even though her best wasn't the best in the group. She tried. Like you can tell that she really wants this. So I applaud her.
Yeah, it takes a lot to put yourself out there, especially when you know everyone else in your group is essentially a top tier, one of the favorites. And again, if you give the show something to work with as far as editing, they will emphasize it, and they will take it. They'll make you a sad girl. So, it happened. I feel for her. I'm so sorry that happened that way. But I think, again, what Doug said in the show is any what was it? Any spotlight is good spotlight kind of thing, right? So any attention is good attention.
Her editing wasn't like it wasn't evil.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was just sad.
It wasn't bad.
It was just like, man.
It was just sad. Very persistent determination. Like I felt like it was a little bit of good editing, but not good editing. So it was like right in the middle.
Yeah.
To get her like sympathy votes and yeah.
No, overall pretty good. I would say Yes or Yes set the bar really high.
Oh my gosh. I wish How You Like That was first, then Yes or Yes, because Yes or Yes raised the bar so high. So I'm already super excited for the next episode.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just, hopefully we move on to something else. But it does feel like, from what the crew talked about, from seeing the fan cams of the things that are already out,
Oh yeah,
that it's gonna
I
be
already
a
saw
packed.
a few fan cams,
All right, so
and I kind of already know.
No, you're good. I will just be on the record to say I saw them like available. I think I'm gonna wait until Friday.
I couldn't wait. As soon as it was out, I was like, I have to see. Like, I have to see.
I really want to. Like, I'm looking at it right now, but at the same time, I think I'm gonna wait. But okay.
I'm just gonna
Go
say.
ahead.
I'm just gonna say that in EBS, one of them is my favorite performance, and it's not the Eve.
Oh, interesting. Okay. A little spoiler. All right, we got a little tease for some conversation next week. Well, we are definitely looking forward to that. All right, so we have the crew's favorites to kind of close up the conversation this week. Anita with Kim Chaeyeon? Yep, Kim Chaeyeon. The Yes or Yes team. Amazing performance again. We mentioned that. Doug and I have very similar cell favorites. He picked the Ryuichi, Hikaru, and Jiyoon group. He also picked Doa, Rhoda, and Arida Risako. Nailed it. I have a very similar set of favorites, but with the individual members, it's really tough for me because I just have a hard time with it. What about you? What were some of your favorites? Any members that you want to give an extra shout out to hope for the nation to vote for if they've kind of been sleeping on these members?
Please vote for Rurika. She was the pigtails for Yes or Yes. I think she was like lead vocal. Oh my gosh, please. Like, she was on Easy You and she's been outshined when she auditioned with Fancy by Kamaguchi.
Yurina, yeah.
Yeah. And she's so good. Like, I'm so glad that Warren pointed her out and the judges praised her because I feel like she was getting a little discouraged from her audition. But yeah, like, she's so good. Please vote for Rurika and for my girl Wenzin. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay,
I had been wanting to vote for her. I just keep forgetting. But
What?
well, because my priorities are elsewhere. Okay, so let's just set the table here. Okay, my priorities. I am one of the initial founders of the Tsuryuchi fan club, among the other simps, and I am drunk for Tsuryuchi. So tell me why I shouldn't be drunk.
I am gonna say the hottest take you ever heard. Her audition wasn't as good as everyone make it seems, and as much as she does deserve the center for the Eve, I don't know. I feel like her hype is a little too much.
You kind of feel like
I'm sorry.
She's a bit of a front runner right now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I would prefer how Doug says Rhoda, but it's like Xu Xingying.
Z. Yes.
What's it called? She's multilingual. She's super stable. She's a visual. I'm surprised that she does not have as much hype as Suritsi.
I mean, I don't think she's had enough screen time yet.
Yeah, like they cut her audition off.
Yeah.
Even though the song wasn't like a good pick, I wish she would have picked a different song. And for Yes or Yes, she was like, I think she was the leader, but she didn't get as much screen time.
Yeah, there wasn't very much cutting.
I'm so upset that she's not getting as much as she should because she's so talented. Like, I'm so mad. But again, the hype for Surichi, I don't know why. I'm sorry. Her snapping audition wasn't as amazing to me, mainly because I hold Chongha to a very high standard. Like, her songs are very like a specific way, and as a dancer, like, I don't know, I hold Chongha very high. So her auditioning with snapping, I think, just to me pulled me away.
Ooh, I like the spice.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. Do not apologize for this. The flames over here. This is what
I
we
do
this
want
is what we
her.
do.
I do want Suruchi on the debut line. Don't get me wrong. I really like her, but just her hype. I don't know.
You know what? All I can say is that when I saw her, I didn't need to see a performance. I knew right away. Maybe it's me acting
How?
crazy. I
Nah,
don't
okay,
know. I'm
but
just crazy.
I knew Suruchi as the ace card girl because her Naya Naya was so good.
Yeah, yeah. I saw some of the promo stuff, the
Hmm.
pre-show stuff, which is pretty cool. And that's where I recognize her face and kind of
Yeah,
her
her hair
characterization. Yeah,
really made her.
yeah. But again, I think I was just stubborn. I just stuck to that, and that she just so happened to be C2. So I was like, well, okay, well, I guess I'm a front runner. I'm good with that. Um, but yes, we will definitely look out for some of the other members. Wenji definitely
Please,
has elevated for me
please.
because I like the point that they made on the show that she took our girl. Oh, we didn't talk about our girl, our 15-year-old,
Oh yeah,
our Sian. So she was take
same,
Sen. Pronounce it better for me. I really can't.
same.
Saying right, and then Wenji
Mm.
took her aside and popped off and said, "Yo,
No, she didn't even take her side. She said it in front of everybody. She didn't even like. She didn't care. She said it like, if you don't want to be here, that's a problem to me because we're connected. Like, if
yeah,
you don't want to be here, why did you even come? Like, I'm here because this is the end. And I really applaud her for pointing that out to her because this may be the end for her. Like, she is a year younger than me. She is one of the oldest like members of Girls Planet 999. So she really had to saying that like she's like, this is my last chance. Like you're gonna hold me back if you don't get your stuff together.
yeah." No, it was a very compelling moment, but it was kind of played off still, knowing that they had to be a team, that they're in the same cell, so they're both very much affected by each other, which is a nice dynamic. I think that's a really cool little wrinkle. But yeah, I think that was a really cool moment, and yeah, Malfiar was the one that also kind of like pushed me towards her because I knew her face, couldn't find her name for the longest time, and then he mentioned it
Mm.
a couple times. And I was like, all right, cool, I'm on it.
Her
But then I
her
also
hair really stands out as
it
well.
pops, right. It's
Yeah.
not red. It's like
No,
orange,
it's like a no, it's a blonde, but it's like if you dyed it and didn't take care of it.
oh, okay,
Like
okay,
in that after like orangey blondes.
okay, cool. Because my
Mm.
brain right now can't really process too much, but it does pop.
That's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's just really interesting how the votes are gonna work out for that song in particular because
Yeah.
you know one member's not
Her
doing so hot.
cell is number 17, which is the last cell
Mhm.
to survive.
Yeah.
So
Well,
please vote for her as well because
yeah,
she needs a new cell.
yeah. We don't know what's gonna be in round two, so it'll
Oh,
be interesting
she,
how things get reshuffled if they do.
that cell just needs a new K group member because Momoko was really good too.
There's a lot of strong K members now that we're
Yeah,
seeing pop off a bit. So you know,
yeah, I'm really invested.
yeah, no, it's a fun show. It's really fun. I
Yeah,
was a little disappointed that there were not as many performances. 7 performances in an entire
I
episode.
know.
All right, I guess we're
It was
doing this.
like like half the episode was just them like in their groups. I'm just like, what's going on? Like,
A lot of talking, a lot
and
of hanging out.
yeah, and then
Okay.
like the dance thing. I was like, do we really need this in the show? The shows are 12 episodes. Like, can't you just cut this part out?
It was fine, but the editing itself didn't give me anything.
I feel like it was just like the filler. Like I didn't get anything from it. I was on my phone when this section
Yeah.
was happening.
Well, because, like, I mean, we all remember Chunga in Produce 101 and, like, a dance battle
Oh
sequence.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
something
Okay,
like this should elevate someone, like, very much in the
I didn't
spotlight.
know.
No,
I
no,
didn't get. I
no
didn't.
one.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Like, some took it serious, some were having fun with it, but nobody was, like, emphasized. So, it's like, what was the point
Yeah.
of this? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's a production
Yeah.
issue. Like they kind of didn't figure out what the story was for that segment. So
Yeah.
all
Or
right.
they didn't focus, or they didn't find someone that was like really good.
Yeah, they didn't give anyone. And also they did have a chance to give Surichi the spotlight, but I think they're holding it because they know her performance is going to be very much the focus in the following episode.
Yeah, we have to wait till next episode because they probably didn't show us everything from the dance battle.
Yeah. So, I mean, kind of a bummer because again, 4 performances when you have
I was
7
so
left.
surprised.
Yeah.
I was so surprised. I really thought it was going to be 2 full performance, like 2 groups of one song, and then so it's like 4 groups, and then like one of the Eve at least.
Yeah, it's gonna leave us on a cliffhanger
Like,
to see how it would play out. But
I don't know how next episode's going to be. It's just going to be full on performance, 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 performance.
it
Like there's no other way.
yeah, or it could be 3 hours long, which is very likely as well. So,
No, it's not likely.
all right. Well, any closing thoughts for this week on episode 3 of Girls Planet 999, Pris?
No, I think the show is progressing in a good pace, but at the same time, I need more. I want more. I want more.
No, and you.
Well, we're still episode like 3, like so it's obviously we don't have a lot, but there's 12 episodes. We're already episode 3. I want more.
No, I'm invested. I like the show a lot.
Yes.
I probably need to
I'm
do.
invested.
Go ahead.
I'm invested in a lot of non like heavy hitters. So
Nice. And that's what makes it fun because I think for me, I try to like find my favorites here and there, but it's just there's so many right now, so I tend to just lean towards the front runners. But it's good that I'm talking to you because at least you can kind of expand on like the other contestants who
girls.
who don't have this the editing right now, or at least the focus. So I very much appreciate that you are here to represent the Kishida
Lesser known.
Kishida Ririka.
No, Ririka, yes, Ririka.
Yeah.
I don't know the last names. I'm sorry, they're too long.
No, you're fine. If you're watching this on YouTube, Pris's avatar photo is that person. So
It's Ririka, please.
yeah,
Please
so
vote for her.
you will know what she looks like. All right.
Yes.
Well,
She's super cute.
that closes us out for our conversation this week and for the SojuTalk Nation episode this week. Thank you everyone for listening to the SojuTalk Nation podcast, episode 33. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify or your preferred podcast platform, and continue the conversation on the SojuTalk Kpop Podcast Discord. This has been the SojuTalk Nation for Koala and Pris all the way from South Korea. This is Crispy. Bye.